Rabson, while you're here, we should have David Collins coaching. And then from there, we've got the Zoom room. And this is where you're coming in. Yeah. And then the conversation's being recorded into the Zoom cloud. And then what should be able to happen is with my practice page, I'll be able to bring this in to the DCC app, to the practice app. And then from there, we're able to feed our various API databases. Which you'll be able to disseminate. Good afternoon, Coach Rabson, Master Coach Rabson. Are you there, Rabson?
Yeah, greetings. Hello.
Hi.
I'm great, and how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Where are you? Where's your picture? No picture today. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's there.
No, I can't see you.
Just hold on.
Hey, it's Naomi in the background. Why are you working that out, Rabson? Are you still there? Hey, Rabson, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
Very smart as always, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay, is this screen sharing? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Do you see the DCC one engine infinite portals in the center?
Yes, I'm able to see that.
All right, so at the bottom you should be able to see here. Let's see what that does. What's this do? Okay, so you should be able to see me here as David. Yep. And then we've got the Mauni method, the UACT accreditation, and then the system. And this is where we're going. Yep. And you've just accredited as a master coach. So you're down here representing the University of Zambia. And we're busy capturing all this information so that we can then feed it out to the various people that are interested in this information. Yep. So that's what I've been working on. But let's start. So you're the master coach. Let's start with the check-in. Let's hand the container over to you.
Yeah, this is the Coach Rabson Banda, and checking in from Africa, Zambia, Lusaka to be specific. And I'm checking in Just hold on. Yeah, and I'm checking in. Yeah, with some anxiety around. Oh yeah, this is really a huge role. Yeah, what's next and how are we moving forward and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm being caught up with that. But apart from that, yeah, that's how I'm checking in emotionally and physically. Yeah, I'm feeling strong. Yeah, and socially, yeah, just from church, had an amazing service with my family. Yeah, so spiritually, meaning that makes me to also feel so ignited. Yeah, and over to you.
Good. So I check in a bit fatigued because I work all the time. I never really stop, but that's a consequence of kokorozashi and living your
Okay.
purpose. When your hobby becomes your work, you'll never work a day in your life. So
Oh
that,
yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at. All right, so let's go for say 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Yeah.
yeah,
What do you want to get out of this? What's our agenda today?
yeah. So the big agenda is basically to decode the master's certification. Yeah, because it's like, yeah, you've gotten a degree in this thing. This is now what it is about. But I also just want to capture the value and the essence, like the ingredients, not really the ingredients, you know. But I just want to give like the way it is when it comes to cars. You know, to say no, this is a Toyota Land Cruiser, and this is what is able to go. This is a jungle bed, is able to go in the bush, and is able to do all such kind of stuffs. And yeah, this is a master coach certification, and this is what it is, and then this is what our assumption is that it can do based on the lived experience that you've had.
Okay. So, I mean, this is a very big topic, and it's taken us a long time to get here with this work to create something that's a master's program. And before I do that, let's just place where people think of programs when they want to implement it into their environment. Yep. And this is really what makes our training suitable for the current environment that the world finds itself in. Yep. So some of the
Yeah,
challenges we spoke to Prof. Given prior to us embarking on this journey, we've got a solution to that. And that's what this is going to be one of the challenges that you're going to be facing. Okay, you've got a master's program. What is this master's program? Where's the academic validity of this? What is this? Ah, this is just a piece of paper that some mzungu's given you. Yeah. So
yeah,
so let's have this conversation. So you get known and unknown. Yep. So you know what's going to happen, and you don't know what's going to happen. And then you get structured and then unstructured. And people in organizations, they like to know what's the curriculum, what are we going to get out of it, and how do you measure that, and how do you onboard students, how do you track them, what's the theory that they're going to be learned, what's your evidence of that theory. And if we go up this side around the structure of the program, a lot of the program is experience. So you have the process of doing practical coaching hours. Yep. And we go through things like the conversation, the continuum, the system, the 4Q model, creating the container, things like that. We talk about adult learning environments. We talk about, the jelly neck curve. We talk about active listening, all sorts of things around this is your toolbox. Then we move into the neuroscience, the treatment side of things, spiritual principles, the neuroscience, the um, community of growth and recovery and resilience. And that's a recovery wellness program. So the one side of the program teaches people coaching skills. Yep. And then the other side treats people that need treatment for substance use disorder, mental health, all sorts of things. Yeah. All right. So an academic institution will want to know what's the outcome and what's the structure. Yep, they feel very comfortable up in this corner. Our challenge is we work down in this corner. A very unstructured environment, an unknown environment. So you came into our containers. Who is this guy? Where does he come from? What does he need? He's been sent to us. How are we going to help this man here? He's from Zambia. He's got a history of mental health. He's got a history of substance use disorder. He's English is his second language. How are we going to support you? So how do we align with you in an unstructured and unknown environment? And then we've been on a journey with you, yep, where you do the various classes and then you get all the way up to masters. Does that make sense to you, Rabson? So you started you did the peer recovery specialist environment. You you started to understand what internal recovery capital is, what external recovery capital is. You started to map assets within your community. So the ABCD stuff, asset-based community development. You started to kind of build relationships with the Zambian School of Psychology, with the Health Professionals Council, with the Zambian Health Professionals Council, with the judicial system, things like this. And on your journey, while doing your personal journey on the pilgrimage and developing yourself and going through the process, the psychological process of working on yourself. So when you go out there, you don't do harm. Yeah. And the ethics behind things and different philosophies and different approaches. And on your journey, you have achieved basically 1,700 plus hours. Yep.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
More than that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's more than that, but we need to have a number because people that are coming from this side, they want to know, well, how come somebody does a weekend training and they go out into the world and they charge the same amount hourly rate as a psychologist that's gone to university for 4 years? That's just wrong. And I agree with that. Somebody who's gone off and spent 4 years getting a degree and somebody that's done a weekend training, there's going to be a big gap between that. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that do a weekend training and they're unconsciously incompetent. But they go out into the world with a little bit of knowledge and cause trouble, which impacts the career of what we're doing in the recovery coaching space. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now you know our four windows. Yep. We've got the
Yeah.
biopsychosocial model. Yep.
Yeah.
We've got the medical model. Yep.
Model.
And then we got the mentorship model. Churches, fellowships, peer support, stuff like that. All right. So where you are is you've now come here. You've got a very good understanding of this learning environment, of what we're going to do, how we're going to work. So when we need to satisfy the bureaucratic people and the academic people, we need to evidence this side. But we have no idea, once someone's got the theory, and like you, what's going to happen now as you go out into the world. Yep. Like we know you've got some knowledge, but we don't know what's going to happen as you go out into this unstructured environment and pioneer. So me and you have created a company in Zambia. Yep, we have a
Yeah.
base there now, and your job is to go and build relationships with the Health Professional Council, with government, with academic institutions, with the various structures in your organization, in your country. Yeah. And what
Yeah.
we're looking for here is to move towards positive psychology or wellness. Yep. And
Yeah.
then pathology. Yep, where people are sick. And that's unwellness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the people that are unwell, they need to be looked after. Yep. And to do that, we need to train people, we need to empower people that are able to go into here and relieve the stress that's on the system.
Yeah.
Making sense?
Yeah. Making sense.
Yeah, okay. So now let's put the Collins window over this framework as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I had another pen, a different color, but I'll use purple. Yep. All right. So here we've got experience. Yep. You've got a lot of experience now. Yep.
Yeah.
You're an experienced father. You're an experienced son. You're an experienced entrepreneur. You're an experienced Zambia. You're an experienced male. You've got local knowledge. Yep. You've got a whole lot of experience. Yeah. Your culture. Your culture is what? You've just been to church. You're living in a shebeen. You're like, you know, the vibe there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. You understand your history, your personal history, your ancestral history, your country's history, and how that's been
Yeah.
impacted. So, for example, the University of Zambia was built by the poor for the poor, yeah, which started after colonization, what, 62 years ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
More than.
More than that. But was it 1964? When did you guys get
Was somewhere 1967.
huh?
Maybe somewhere around 1967. Yeah. Somewhere 1967.
Okay, cool. So what we need to safeguard and protect using the principles of our work is a bottom-up approach. Yeah. So we go back here now, and we don't know what this is going to be like as we partner with organizations in Zambia. So as you run around in your role, what's your role that you've been given?
Master coach.
No, 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 no. That's your education, the role that you've got. Ambassador, youth ambassador. What's that big title you got?
The national productivity ambassador for youths and mental health.
All right. So now you've got a role based on your experience. Yep. And
Yeah.
your role is what?
National productivity
Okay,
ambassador.
whoa, stop there. National. So what does national mean? National means you've got to look after the whole of Zambia.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got this picture, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's Zambia. It's not a very good picture of Zambia, but there we go. But national means you need to look after everything. Yep.
Mm.
All right. So national what?
Productivity.
Productivity. So you've got productivity, which is measured in money. Yep. That's one way
Yeah.
people measure productivity. And the other productivity that we're going to measure is recovery capital.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are we going to measure those, whether you're productive? How are we going to measure that, Rabson?
How going to measure which one?
The productivity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's productivity is the number of jobs that are going to be created.
Great. Okay. So job creation. Yep. So job creation, you're going to need to train people.
Yeah.
And those people go out into the marketplace. Yep.
Yeah.
And then they get hired by institutions, by businesses. Yep. Banks, mines, schools, hospitals, whatever. Yep. And then they go and
Yeah.
feed their families. Making sense?
Yeah, making a lot of sense.
All right, cool. So how are you going to train people?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's by
So for a start, you've got a license to train our work. Yep.
yeah.
So we're creating a school here. Yep. And in that school, you've got a 51% ownership. Yep.
Yeah.
You're the man with the power. You say, David, this isn't going to work here. Yep. And then we'll say, okay, Rabson, it doesn't work. What will work? Okay. That's the one side of it. All right. What's the other thing? So national productivity, national youth.
Ambassador for youths and mental health.
Okay. So a lot of your clientele are going to be the youth.
Yeah.
What
Not
is
necessarily though.
yeah, okay. So
So
what is
they're going to be youths and mental health. So
yeah?
meaning there is youth and general mental health. So they for general mental health, we couldn't specify if it's the youths, but just like general mental health.
All right. So how's the mental health of your whole country?
Yeah, first of all, as a country, Zambia, we know that for sure that we won't have got one national mental health hospital, which is not enough to cater for 20 million people.
Okay. So we've got 20 million people here. Yep.
And one national mental health hospital.
And you got one hospital. So there's a big gap here, huh?
of course, now the level one hospital has got those services, but many of these level one hospitals are much situated around the line of rail and leaving the rural areas unattended to.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah, so meaning there is one thing is also that the actual mental health system, the nice where I did my internship from, which is called Chainama, is already stigmatized. So you find that some people don't want to send their loved ones to the facility like that. So the question is, where do they go to? And that's also the question in terms of filling in that gap, because it's like there is a market that is not really attended to.
Okay. So part of your role would be to do a campaign to challenge stigma.
Yeah, yeah. Stigma and discrimination.
Okay. All right. Where should we put that on here? So let's put this on here. So campaign. What else do you need to do?
Yeah, campaign, and also a mental illness clinic also suffice to to maximize and on that market as well.
Okay, but I mean to get a mental health clinic, yeah, you'll get, I mean, how are you going to serve these people quickly?
Yeah, first of all, it's demand creation, high health promotion and demand creation. That's basically through the campaign. Yeah, it's just more like health promotion and demand creation, and giving people alarming people and sharing with people the information, the resources that already exist within the communities that they are part of. So that's the immediate way of being able to make sure that they've got access to services. Yeah, because the government already has put up certain systems. There are helplines that has been created with the gender division, and of course, we know that any level one hospital, at least they've got a mental health department. Yeah, so it's basically campaign around alarming people what services already exist within their community.
All right, so there you need partnerships. Rabson, are we on track? Is this what you wanted to talk about today?
Yeah, it's one of it. It's awakening something in me.
Okay. You always dress so smartly, huh?
Yeah, that's my office.
Yeah.
I always have to be ready.
Yeah, this is my office. I'm also ready. How's Naomi?
She's outside
Yeah, I can
with the
hear.
friends.
That's nice. That's nice. All right. What else, Rabson? Where are we going from here?
Yeah, I also wanted to touch about around the ISO stuff as well.
Around what stuff?
The ISO.
Oh, okay. All right. So ISO is International Standard of Operation. It's a accreditation body that measures how you onboard students, what your curriculum is, how you test students against that curriculum, what processes you've got in place, what policies are in place, what procedures are in place to test how the student does the theory, to make sure that they're okay when they go out into the marketplace. Have they got a criminal record? Have they got practice insurance? It's a level to make sure that when somebody is accredited, that they're working at an international standard. So it's like you go to England and you study accountancy, You go to Zambia, you study accountancy, and then you both go to Italy to work as accountants. If you're both ISO accredited in that, you have a common understanding of what the role is. If you go to Australia and you're a plumber, yep, you know that plumbing is the same. On the right hand side, you have cold water. On the left hand side, you have hot water. Yeah. So people are working at a standard. Electricity is 240 volts here. In America, it's 120. You need to be at a different standard. Yeah. So ISO 17024 is a European standard, which is internationally recognized, which is good. And we're also aligned in the UK with continuous professional development, which is a UK. I mean, the UK used to be part of Europe, but then they had Brexit, and then everything changed. Yeah. So the best way in Europe is to do the CPD accreditation. Yep. That's continuous professional development. So the people that come and receive the training are already professionals of some sort, and their professional bodies are requiring them to continue their professional development. So let's go back to the accountant. You now need to understand how financials are being generated because of the introduction of AI, for example. The way the
Mhm.
books are made, yep, or the introduction of cryptocurrency. Yep, or how the Swift settlement system might change, and international currency transfers might change because of cryptocurrency, things like that. So you need to keep up to date. Doctors have to do it because medical systems change. Now, one of the challenges with the mental health world, yep, is 12-step treatment never changed, really. It's been like this is what we did in the 30s, and we're pretty much doing the same thing 100 years later. Um, and that's one of the things I want to challenge and build on. Yep, and the world is a bit slow to adopt that stuff. And this is why the importance of professionalizing lived experience is so important. Did I answer your question or too much?
Yeah, no, you've answered my question.
Okay.
Yeah, I also wanted to touch on the global, the global, the global pricing system when it comes to a master coach who's based in Zambia and a master coach who's based in Europe, Australia, or maybe let me say even Thailand, or maybe let me say Netherlands.
So, so first world countries, second world countries, and third world countries. A good way to measure this stuff is to use the Big Mac index. Now, the Big Mac index is basically the price that it costs McDonald's to make a hamburger in a country. In South Africa is different to the price it costs in France, as in the US or the UK or India, or yeah. So they've developed the Big Mac index, which basically takes parity of what the cost of a course is, yeah, of a hamburger is. So what we've done is we've created our master's program to be a third world pricing competing in a first world marketplace. Yeah. So for £5,000, if we compare our master's program that's coming out of Zambia, yeah, which is very high quality, and I know I'm going to be biased here, and I'm open to criticism, But because of technology and the way that we can deliver things, we can deliver a global program, yep, at third world prices. So you can be living in the UK and get a master's program, third world prices while living in the UK. Yeah. So a lot of international students come over to the UK, they pay £10,000 a year for that's before accommodation or any of that sort of stuff. And they got to do a 3 year program or something that costs them £30,000. We can compete with that at £5,000. So it offers a lot of value. So it's very competitive from that perspective. Unfortunately, racism is still alive and well, and there's a lot of kind of judgment towards quality of education. So if somebody goes to Oxford or to Harvard or something like that, and they pay a fortune for their training, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a good coach. Yeah, there's a lot of prestige in that. Yep, it's like buying a Rolex watch or a Casio watch. The Casio still tells the time. And if you got to get the time, read the time to get to the airport so you can both catch a plane, it's like, do you want to drive to the airport in a Rolls Royce or do you want to drive in a Land Cruiser? Yep. And if I'm driving out
Hmm.
in the country in Zambia, I want to be in a Land Cruiser because it's designed for that environment. So our training is designed for going into a culture of adversity, yep, and creating a
Yeah.
culture of resilience. Yep, where a lot of other programs, people go and they study, and then when they go out into the marketplace, they've got no skill set in the marketplace. So our coaches could straight away go into the mining sector, for example, and start to work with the workforce there to bring safety to the mines and to influence a mining culture which will increase productivity and reduce the risk and improve health and safety. And I mean that's just fact. That's not me trying to make up a story to sell something. Yep.
Yeah.
I know our story sells itself because I've spoken to the academics around this as well, and they all agree with me. We got a lot of wisdom in academia, but it's not getting out into the marketplace. And this is where our masters creates the bridge for that.
I see.
Do you agree with me, Rabson?
I'll speak from my lived experience with regard to where I've used these principles and the result that has really come out, And I can literally say that there has really been a lot of value with regard to where this skill set has been used. A good example is just at the University of Zambia with regard to how the students have developed their capacity to do well. That's in the sense that, they've even their academic performance has increased as a result of them being able to test the juicy that comes with this skill set. And that's
So
and I'll be biased around it. Yeah, but I'll be biased because that's one thing that I do. But of course, I'm also open up for criticism. But yeah, just a fact with regard to how things have turned out with the people that these tools have been exposed to. It's the same tools that have enabled the government to recognize me as a national productivity ambassador for youth and mental health. If it wasn't for these tools, I don't think it would have been possible.
So when you went to the University of Zambia, unstructured, structured, known, unknown. Yep. You started here. You just got the students. Yep. And the university, they're looking at it from here. What are you going? What's the program? What are the outcomes? What are the measurables? And there's that
Yeah,
huge gap that you've had to you've had to walk and bridge. Yeah. So you started with the students. How many students did you start with?
Yeah, that was 30.
30. Okay, you started with 30. How many finished?
10.
10. Okay. So that's a good result. Usually what happens over here when we have a class of 20, we usually get a 10% continuation. So people will come for the 3 days, they will say, yeah, we're going to continue, we continue, and then only 10%. So well done for that. Okay. Sorry, so you got 10 people. Yep. So 10 out of 30, that's 33%. All right, great. Well done. All right. What are those 10 people doing now as they've gone out into the world?
Yeah, so those 10 people formed a club at the University of Zambia, and some
Okay.
of them have gone out to establish and be part of different organizations, and some have stayed.
Okay. So they've gone out there and they've built little containers. Yep.
Yeah,
All right. Now, are you tracking the progress of these containers? Yeah. So over time, yeah, you need to see how those containers are doing. And then you
okay.
gather the information from that. Yep. And this is where our IT system comes into place because we're capturing all this stuff and feeding into our database engine and using the AI tools to extrapolate the data, we can see what's working and what's not working. So, I mean, Rabson, did it cost you any money to do our training?
It was supported by you in
Yeah, yeah.
monetary form.
We gave you money. Yeah. We paid for you.
Yeah.
We just gave you a little cell phone. And look what you've created. So imagine if we had some more money, yeah, what we could do over time. But people
That would be nice.
people judge us. They think, hey, those people, who are they? Why would we do that? Why would we? Because these people, yep, they have a lot of fear, yeah, because
Yeah.
their structure and their knowledge is under threat.
What do you mean? It's under threat?
Hey?
What do you mean it's under threat?
Well, look, I mean, you imagine what it's like. You've gone. I mean, look at Manto when he came with all his PhDs and all his knowledge and everything. Yep, and he came in here from a very structured and known environment, but he didn't receive much experience in his academic life. So he came to us and he learned stuff here. And now he's kind
Uh-huh.
of going up into his area, but he was very angry at this environment because he had these degrees that weren't transferable into productive knowledge.
Oh, I see. Oh, now it's now making sense. Hmm. So meaning me, I'm at the bottom here where there is unstructured and where it's unknown.
No, 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 no. You're over here now, Rabson. Yeah,
I'm saying I was there where it was unknown
yeah.
and it was unstructured. Now I've moved
You've come up here.
to
You know,
there.
yeah, you know the syllabus, you know the journey, you know the path. So people usually
Yeah.
start, they usually come out of treatment. Yeah. They become volunteers, ambassadors, they get a job, peer recovery specialists, recovery coaches, systemic wellness practitioners. consultants, case managers, facilitators. There's a whole lot of skill sets that people can learn on their journey. Like
Yeah.
you know that now.
Yeah. I know those things.
Yeah, which should really satisfy this side. And people go, okay, well, we know how this works. So, like at the clinic, everyone is trained in recovery coaching. The security guards, the nurses, everyone, because, well, you know what it's like. You've been there.
Yeah. And I was just reading the video, I was just reminded of that experience.
Yeah. Recovery Connections is the same in the UK. Like everyone does it.
Mm.
Yeah. Because it helps the organization with their productivity.
Yeah, because I just noticed how the nurse were coming in the morning and be able to talk about these things, and that just really amazed me so much. Because all I know that the nurse should do is just, yeah, how are you feeling? Medicine? How have you taken? Take this, that. But just seeing the nurse facilitating those things, it was something that was really like, oh yeah, mind blowing.
You see, the way the medical environment was set up before was very kind of doctors, nurses, very kind of like fucking hierarchical, top-down approach. Where what we're doing is a bottom-up approach, a community spirit, like so like the nurses spend more times with the patients, yep, than the clinicians do or the doctors do. So the nurses, the more they can use their conversation skills in building rapport with the patient and their bedside manner, and to feed that information back to the doctors, and that you get a better therapeutic outcome.
Mm.
And it'll be the same in government
Yeah, because
or school or companies or any organization.
oh, I see. So, in other ways, I also wanted to get this view, because sometimes when people talk about recovery coaching, they limit us to the addiction space. And I want you to shed more light when it comes to the skill set that like a person like me has developed, which I know, but I also just want to hear it from you. Uh, what value they bring into the role of leadership and the role of management.
Well, that's where the expanded Collins window comes from. Yep, and it's a hard marketing skill set when you come from this environment to say this tool will work for you because of the stigma. Yeah. And we need to look at marketing, packaging this in a better way. Yeah. Because you're absolutely right. People do. It's a bit like racism. I was coaching this black CEO that got onto an aeroplane with his wife. Yep. The pilots that came onto the plane were black. Yep. And he said to his wife, "Do you think we're safe?" Yeah. So there's a stigma there already. Yeah. Do you know? It's it's like when women started driving buses, you know? It's like
Yeah,
it's something we're up against. But the institutions over here in the UK really recognizing the value of lived experience. Yeah. The challenge we're going to have now is people that are looking after the money. They're going to say, we need someone with lived experience. Does that tick the box? Okay, let's bring that person in. And if that person isn't
yeah,
trained right, yep, And so we need to constantly market ourselves as like, we're not working with the patients. We're working with the organization around them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're working with the judiciary. You're working with the government. You're working with, you're working with a whole lot of statutory services. And that's why you're in a very good position to take Zambia to become an inclusive recovery country. You just explain to the relevant people, guys, this is what we want. This is what we need. We're a land-linked country. We want to increase productivity. We want everyone to benefit from our economy and our resources. This is how we can do it. This is how we start doing it. This is how we start to talk to each other and interact with each other. This is an
I
African
see.
thing. This is an African thing. Don't have some fucking white Mzungu over here in Europe telling you this stuff. It's like, you know what they do in South Africa? They come up with the ideas. Yep. They take it to Europe. Europe just packages it nicely, comes back and sells it back to them for twice the fucking three times the price. Because there's an internal oppression. It's like, hey, those people must know better.
You just hit the nail on the head anyway.
Yeah. And me and you need to be able to be comfortable talking about this.
Yeah. Yeah, because to be honest with you, yeah, I've worked so hard with support of this community to go out there and have the confidence to create those relationships, right? And I also know that there's this voice in me that is telling me, like, yeah, are those people going to value the skill set that you've developed? You know, yeah. So there's this voice, there's this internal conversation that I've been having, and it's good that you brought that thing out. You know,
Which
yeah.
people, Rabson?
And I'm thinking, come again.
Which people?
Like the people that. If it's not the people, then maybe it might just be me having this conversation with myself and just making up what those people are. Maybe at one point they might not exist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But let's unpack it quickly. So you'll have people inside our community, yep, like Paula and the team and everyone else. Yep, like people might turn around and say, David just gave Rabson a master's because he likes him. No, I do like you. I do want you to get the masters, but the work that you've done and what you've done is going to go and sit before them as a panel, and they're going to debate amongst themselves and say, yeah, is this correct for Rabson or not? So you'll get their stamp of approval. Yep. Then does what we do resonate out into your marketplace? And you're going to have to carry that. We can't do that.
I see.
People with bigger checkbooks will come along and say, no, you don't want to do those. No, what? David and Rabson. David's in a homeless shelter. Rabson's in a shebeen. Why would you want to work with them? No. David's in Harley Street. Rabson works at the University of Zambia. It's very different landing, huh? Is that a lie? Am I
No,
lying?
that's not a lie.
No, it's the truth.
No.
It's It's a
It's the
fact. It's
truth.
evidence. It's known fact, and the structure's there. And we work under, like we're backed up by the University of Utah, Cambridge University Press, the the medical insurance industry in the Netherlands, in South
Yeah, and
Africa,
discovery science as well.
and Discovery Insurance in South Africa. As Guy du Plessis would say, is we're not muchus. We're serious about this stuff.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I think I need. I have to put a banner so that every time I wake up, I'm able to see the evidence which is in front of my nose.
Yeah, look, it's one thing is staying humble, is handling your strengths with dignity. Yeah, the fact that
Mm.
you're living in a shebeen, yep, with dignity and humility makes you an even stronger person, as opposed to having out, oh, look at my house, look at my car, look at the certificates on my wall. That's is that making sense, Rabson? Do you agree with me?
Yeah, it's making sense, especially when you talked about the aspect of dignity.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, oh yeah, going out there and do amazing stuffs, and sitting with that dignity and that strength with regard to where I am does not define me, but hey, there's this value and there's this voice I have to do good to the world. Yeah, yeah, sitting well with me, and that's one thing that I agree. Yeah, we've just done a lot, Yeah, we do a lot with the little resources that we have, which creates a lot of impact.
So what we got to do now is the people with the money, get them to realize how good they're going to look when they spend it with us.
Come again, David. I missed that.
That's okay. So the people that have the money, the World Health Organizations, all these organizations that you're partnering and building relationship with, yep, is they're going to look good spending their money with us because we're going to be able to deliver on what they're paid to do.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because we just do a lot of work with little resources, and then the impact is just so massive.
Hmm. Well, you go and tell them, like, why would you disagree with someone from Harley Street in London? Like, why would you disagree with the University of Zambia School of Psychology? Why would you disagree with the Health Professionals Council of South Africa? Why would you disagree with you know, the UK College of Lived Experience? Like, what's your argument? Oh no, I don't like David's housing conditions. What the fuck? Rabson lives in the shebeen. Like, no, no.
Oh my God.
That's them. That's not us.
Mm.
You tell me who's working on this stuff on a Sunday evening at 6:30.
No, but apart from us.
Yeah, well, you're a dedicated servant warrior. Okay, you're the guy that puts his head up, looks around, and goes, "Fuck, enough now. This has to stop." You're one of those leaders, Rabson. You just wake up and say, "Okay, we got to do something. Let's start with the pies check-in." You had no idea what you were doing, but you just sat down. Okay, let's do pies. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, let's make a video. Pop, 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 pop. Let's like it. You're getting up and doing it. Excellent. And you didn't just do it for a weekend. You've been consistently doing this for 2 years. Almost every day, checking in here, jogging in your neighborhood, speaking to the students, WhatsApp groups, online groups, on radio, on television. Yep. Gosh, Raps, I'm so proud of you. You're a very good man. Your father would be very, very proud of you, Rabson.
Oh, I see myself. How did I end up here?
Me too.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I belittle to the work that I put in.
I mean I didn't even mention the work you did with what's his name? Chief Sakuta. And that work.
Yeah, Chief Sikute.
Yeah, that work you did there and the relationships you were building there. Going to South Africa, doing the work there. Like you're a man that's just showing up and saying, "How can I help? What needs to happen? Let's check in."
Uh, I feel like J3.
Bruce Lee. Wah! All right, should we start to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you're going to have an Own Your Mind portal. Yep. And then people can log on to the portal, and then you start to build your school. You get official confirmation from the University of Zambia to partner with us as if they want to. Yep. Um, and yeah, what else do you need to? Who do you report to as National Youth and Productivity Ambassador? Who's your boss?
Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Labor and Social Security, Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts, and I also sit on the National Technical Working Group with Ministry of Health. So Ministry of Health is also is an important key stakeholder and the Drug Enforcement Commission.
So get all those people to commit to driving to making Zambia an inclusive recovery country based on the work that's happening in the UK, in New Zealand, in the US, in Europe. Just say, guys, we can really lead the way here.
Yeah. Just hold on a minute. I'm here. I'm just switching off my video, but I'm here.
That's fine.
Yeah, I hear you. So I'm getting a portal for the On Your Mind.
Yeah.
And I need to get a stamp from the University of Zambia. Yeah, so I was talking to Dr. Given. That should have been on Thursday.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how that we have to send in the curriculum.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we ended from. I was with him on Thursday.
Okay, great. Okay. All right, mate. Well, let's check out. I've really enjoyed this conversation. I love talking to you. I love you. You're a great man, father. I don't know about husband, but I hope you're a good husband. You've got another child on the way. Own your mind.
Oh my God. Yeah, thank you very much. I think I also needed this conversation in my new role, not just my new role, my new development in my professional life. Yeah, and yeah, to also give me space to just reflect on the fire that I've been through and being able to be grateful for what that fire has made me become, the kind of a person that fire has made me become. Yeah, it's really an amazing experience. Yeah, and I'm checking out with a lot of gratitude. And yeah, yeah, it's amazing. Huh?
Cool.
And I love you too.
Oh, that's nice.
The
All right.
kind of a man you are, the work you put into this thing, and how raw you are as well.
Raw.
Yeah,
Mm.
and authentic.
Yeah, I'm going to take that as a compliment. Yeah, it's a compliment. All right, Rabson, lots of love. See you later.
All right. Thank you. See you.
Bye.
Are you
Bye.
coming at 8?
No, no, no. I've got to go meet one of the directors and tell them that you're a master now. Is he all right with it?
All right.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
How do I end this?